You are going to spend about 90,000 hours of your life working, and most of that work will leave no visible mark on the world. No fire fed, no tool fixed, no food carried back to people waiting for you. Just tasks, messages, meetings, and another day that disappears into a screen. Now, here is the strange part. For almost all of human history, jobs did not exist. No boss, no salary, no shift, no weekend. So, what did ancient humans actually do all day? The answer is not that they did nothing. They worked, but their work came in rhythms, not shifts. In some forager societies, direct food getting has been estimated at around 15 to 20 hours a week, not total work, not a vacation, but enough to make the modern workday look very strange. Start with the morning. An ancient human does not wake up because a machine screams beside their head. They wake because the light changes, because someone moves near the fire, because a child makes noise, because the body has slept enough, or because the group needs something. The first task might be simple: keep the fire alive. If embers are still glowing, someone feeds them. If the fire goes out, starting again takes effort. So the job is clear: feed the fire, the group stays warm. Ignore it, the day gets harder. That is already different from modern work. There is no meeting about the fire, no performance review, no spreadsheet explaining the fire. You do the thing, and the result is visible, fire or no fire. Oh. Then the camp begins moving. People check children. Someone looks at the sky, someone remembers where water was yesterday. Someone checks a tool that cracked the day before. The group talks loosely about where to go, what to gather, what to fix, what to avoid. This is not a morning routine, it is survival planning without a calendar. And then the day splits. Some people leave to gather food: plants, roots, berries, nuts, shellfish, depending on where they live. Some inspect tools, some prepare hides, some stay near camp with children or older people. Some do not need to leave at all if food was found recently. That is the part modern people often miss. Ancient humans were not grinding every hour of every day for calories. A good hunt, a good fishing spot, a patch of ripe plants, or stored food could change the rhythm of the next few days. Some days were intense, some days were slow. The schedule came from the land, not from a clock. If hunting happened, it was not always the movie version where everyone sprints at a giant animal with spears. Humans are not the fastest runners, but we are very good at distance. We can sweat. We can cool ourselves while moving. Many animals cannot do that as well. In some environments, humans could follow prey for hours, keeping steady pressure on it until heat and exhaustion did what speed could not. That is persistence hunting. It is one of the strangest things about your body. You are not built like a cheetah. You are built like something that keeps going. But food was only one part of the day. A huge part of ancient life was maintenance. The spear tip is loose. The basket is wearing out. The hide needs scraping. The water container leaks. The firewood is damp. The child who watched you make a tool yesterday is now trying to make one and doing a terrible job. That is school. No classroom, no grades, no homework. Just a child watching an adult do something useful, then failing until the hand learns. This is how knowledge survived for most of human history, not in books, in bodies, in repetition. In someone older, showing someone younger how not to make the same mistake twice. By midday, the pace often changes. If it is hot, hard movement slows down. People sit in shade, they eat, they talk, they repair things, they rest. And this is important. Rest was not laziness. Rest was strategy. If your body has to walk tomorrow, carry tomorrow, hunt tomorrow, gather tomorrow, and pay attention tomorrow, then exhausting yourself today is not heroic. It is a bad plan. Modern work often teaches the opposite. Push through. Ignore fatigue. Sit still for hours. Eat when the schedule says. Keep going until the task is done. Ancient life listened to the body more because ignoring the body had immediate consequences. Afternoon might be boring in the way real life is boring. More repairing, more sorting, more watching children, more checking tools, more carrying water, more waiting. But this is where something surprising appears in the archaeological record. Art. If ancient humans were spending every waking second barely surviving, we should not find so many objects that exist for beauty, identity, music, or meaning. But we do. At Chauvet Cave in France, people painted horses, lions, and rhinoceroses on stone walls tens of thousands of years ago. These were not random scratches, they used shape, motion, and the natural surface of the cave. At Blombos Cave in South Africa, people made tiny shell beads with holes drilled through them. Someone had to collect them, shape them, and turn them into decoration. In Germany, someone carved a flute from bird bone. It had finger holes, it could make music. None of that is required to survive the next meal, but it is required to be human. When ancient humans had time, they did not only sleep, they decorated, played, practiced, taught, flirted, argued, laughed, made things. They filled time with people. That may be the biggest difference. Modern free time often means being alone with a screen. Ancient free time was usually social. You were near others, listening, teasing, watching, learning, sharing food, sharing stories, repairing bonds before they broke. Because in a world without banks, police, insurance, or written contracts, your relationships were your safety net. If people trusted you, you survived bad days better. If they did not, every bad day got worse. So yes, ancient humans spent a lot of time talking, not because they were wasting time, because social life was survival infrastructure. Then evening comes. The sun drops. The fire becomes the center again. The world beyond the light gets harder to read. The group comes closer. This is where the day changes. During daylight, conversation is practical, where the animals went, which plants are ready, who shared fairly, what needs fixing. At night, around the fire, conversation often becomes something else. Stories, jokes, memories, warnings, myths. Researchers studying firelight conversations in a forager group found that daytime talk was mostly practical, but nighttime talk shifted heavily toward storytelling. That makes sense. When the stomach is not empty, when the fire is burning, when the group is together, the mind can leave the immediate problem and travel somewhere else. This may be one of the places human culture grew, not in an office, not in a meeting, around a fire after the useful work was done, while people listened to the same voice in the same dark, and then came sleep. Not always the perfect 8-hour block modern people chase. Sleep before electricity was shaped by darkness, fire, temperature, danger, insects, noise, and the breathing of other people nearby. Some people may have slept in phases. Some woke in the night. Some talked quietly. Some watched the dark. The day ended not because a calendar said it was over. It ended because the body, the fire, and the group had reached the edge of what the day could hold. Then morning came, and the rhythm started again. Fire, food, water, tools, children, rest, repair, stories, sleep. That was the day, not empty, not easy, but human. If you want to keep exploring what modern life forgot about the ancient body, subscribe to Dr. Caveman. Now here is the part that changes how you look at your own workday. Here is the mistake people make. They hear that some forager societies spent around 15 to 20 hours a week getting food, and they imagine ancient life as a vacation. It was not. People got hungry, injuries mattered, weather could ruin everything. A bad season could change the whole group's future. Ancient life was harder than modern life in many ways, but modern work is strange in a way ancient life was not. Your ancestors' effort usually had a visible ending. The fire was fed, the tool was fixed, the water was carried, the food was shared, the child learned, the story was told. The group made it through another day. Modern work often does not give you that feeling. You answer messages, and more arrive. You finish a task, and another version appears. You sit still all day and somehow feel exhausted. You work for hours, but nothing in your hands proves the day happened. That is why this question matters. It is not really about whether ancient humans had more free time. It is about whether their effort made more sense to the body. Before jobs existed, humans still worked. But work was not a separate world you entered and escaped from. It was woven into food, family, movement, rest, skill, story, and survival. That does not mean we should go back. It means the modern workday, maybe asking an ancient body to live inside a very new kind of cage. So tomorrow, when your alarm goes off and your phone lights up before the sun does, remember this. Your body was not built to hate effort. It was built to need a reason for it. Before work was a job, it was a rhythm.